This journey has truly been one of learning and unlearning. Sometimes you start off thinking you know exactly how things should go. Then along the way you realize there's always something new to discover, a better way to do things, and lessons you only understand by going through them. Every step, every challenge, every small victory has taught us something different. And today we are learning yet another thing. Hi, my name is Sowino. I tell stories of my life through cooking videos, farming, and homesteading life in general. If this is the kind of content that interests you, kindly click the subscribe button for more amazing videos. A few weeks ago, maybe a month or so, some of you asked what we're going to do with the walls. Are we going to leave them as they are, or are we going to paint them? At that time, I thought I knew exactly what we'll do. We're going to waterproof the walls with linseed oil. Sounds great, right? But as the walls kept drying, we realized we didn't love the look. There were two walls that kept bothering us. The finish was uneven, and they looked so terrible. That's when my husband went into research mode. And when we go into research mode, whether it's for a recipe, a small project, or now this house, we go deep. He dug into options and came up with something different. And we will paint the walls, and we will make the paint ourselves from scratch. I asked, how are we going to do it? And this was his answer. Let me take you step by step. So you've seen me pick some soil. I use the type of soil we already have here on our land, and that's the red soil. This one here we had already sifted. It's the same one we'll be using for our garden beds. You can use whatever color of soil you have, but just know the color of your soil will affect the final look of your paint. So before you start, have an idea of the color you're going for. After that, mix your soil with water. At this stage, there's really no measuring needed, just mix until everything combines well. If you don't have access to soil nearby, you can always buy ready-made clay like white or grey clay and add pigments to achieve whatever color you want. Once the soil is soaked, the next step is screening, what I'm doing right now. Screening simply means passing the mixture through a fine mesh or sieve to remove stones, roots, or any impurities. You can do this either wet or dry, but I personally did it wet, using a wire mesh. This also helps you get a smoother, more consistent texture for your paint. Because we screened our soil wet, we needed to remove the extra water to get it to the right consistency, more like a clay patty. To do that, I placed it in these common shopping bags we use here in Kenya. You can also use a piece of cloth or a cheesecloth and hang it up for a few days to let the excess water drain out naturally. Now, let's move on to making the wheat paste concentrate. This is basically your natural glue, the same one people use in paper mache and other craft projects. You'll want to use white flour for this part because whole wheat just doesn't get sticky enough. The recipe is really simple. I set 1 cup of water to boil, then on the side I mix 2 cups of cold water with 1 cup of flour. Once the water had boiled, I poured in the flour mixture and let it bubble just a little bit, stirring until it thickened and turned slightly translucent. You'll see that part clearly in the video. You can add mica powder if you want your paint to be a little thicker, but we didn't because our soil is already quite sandy. When it comes to color, we didn't add any pigment either, we just used the natural color of our soil. But if you want to experiment, you can add pigments to change up the tone. Just keep in mind your choice of soil already sets your base color. For instance, with our red soil, if we wanted a lighter or different color, we'd have to do a bit of color mixing to get there. You can see here our mixture has some lumps, and that's because our clay putty wasn't the right consistency. It should actually feel like toothpaste, not too wet, not too dry. Ours was a bit on the dry side, and that's what caused the lumps you're seeing. We also made another small mistake. We let our flour mixture sit for too long, and that made it form even more lumps. So here is what you should do instead. You don't have to use already sifted soil, but if you do, don't screen it twice because you'll have already removed the impurities. If you're using unsifted soil, just pick any type of soil, mix it with water and screen it once to remove the larger bits. I hope that makes sense. And also, after your wheat paste concentrate has already bubbled up, your clay putty mixture should be ready. So it's just a matter of mixing them together. I'll show you that as we continue in the video. Now for the paint recipe itself, this is where everything comes together. Use 1 part wheat paste concentrate, 1 part water and 1 part clay putty. Mix it all together until smooth and adjust the consistency to what you prefer. After so many trials of trying to remove the lumps, we finally reached a point where the mixture looked just right. It was easy to apply, though you could still see a few tiny lumps here and there. But since this was just a test run, we decided to go with it and see how it will sit once it dried. This type of paint is actually a great alternative to acrylic or latex paints. It works perfectly on existing walls in conventional homes or over plaster in natural homes like ours. It's also completely non-toxic. In fact, everything used in this recipe is edible. All the ingredients are food grade and naturally sourced, making it such a sustainable and healthy option for families. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this paint is water soluble even after drying. That means it's not suitable for wet conditions unless it's sealed with linseed oil or any other masonry sealer. Alternatively, you can replace the wheat paste with an additive like casein glue, acrylic, or soy resin to make it more durable. For us, we'll first see how it sits on the walls, then decide what sealant to go with. I'll definitely keep you updated. Later in the evening, the paint had dried and overall it looked good. The only issue we noticed was the lamps, so now it's time to fix them and smooth everything out. We made a few adjustments to the recipe this time. As I mentioned earlier, I had made some mistakes. This time, the flour was mixed perfectly and they used a tool that looked like a whisk to keep it smooth and prevent lumps from forming. While the flour was cooking on the fire, the clay patty was ready. Once the flour mixture was done, they immediately combined it with the clay patty and continued whisking, and it came out really well, completely smooth with no lumps. Now, if you're using dry clay instead of a pre-made patty, the process is slightly different. You'll mix 1 part dry clay with 1 part water and screen it to remove any larger particles or impurities. Then, combine it with the wheat paste concentrate, adjusting the water as needed to achieve that toothpaste-like consistency. This ensures a smooth paint that is easy to apply and free of lumps. If you're watching us for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you're learning something new here. We have a full playlist showing how we started this project all the way to this point. Feel free to check it out and let us know what you think in the comments. Now, tell me, did you know that you could actually make your own paint at home? I personally didn't know until my husband came up with the idea, and I just love how it turned out. Now you can see how the paint looks this time, much better, completely smooth with 0 lumps. It's ready for application and I can't wait to show you how it goes on the walls. Another thing we noticed with the previous sample was that the color came out lighter than what we had hoped for. So we painted the rest of the wall first to see if we would like it, but in the end we weren't satisfied. We decided to apply another coat on top of the samples and that gave us the richer, deeper color we were looking for. And that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a thing or two along the way. Next, we'll continue painting the walls outside since obviously work can't continue inside right now. We'll keep you updated and finally show you how the house looks fully painted, pointing out all the little details and the differences you'll notice on the walls. Keep dreaming, keep building, and most importantly, live the life that feels true to you. Until next time, bye. We shall try again tomorrow.